In 1923, Adolf Hitler led a coup against the German government that ended up being called the Beer Hall Putsch. He was tried and convicted for this, became a felon, which he claimed was a political move from the Socialist Democrats, and he started a campaign about how he was for the working German and how educators were poisoning German minds against Germany and that he was going to make Germany great again. And he became chancellor on January 30th of 1933. He promptly forgave all the people who participated in his Beer Hall Putsch, giving them medals of honor, and then started prosecuting, persecuting, and killing all of the law enforcement who resisted his coup. By April 7th of 1933, he passed what was called the Law for the Restoration of Public Service, which rolled back work protections, allowing all public service to discriminate against women and people of color, and only people who were of Aryan descent who pledged loyalty to Hitler could work in public service. Now, he was able to control the government by making oligarchs part of his head of government, and he demonized minorities, saying it's us versus them. He chose the Jews because they were a relatively small minority, and the LGBTQ community, which was thriving in Germany in the 1920s, include having the first trans surgical clinic that the Nazis burned to the ground. They also banned and burned any books that they considered degenerative or immoral, which just means that they acknowledged that gay people and trans people are real and talked about their experiences. They also burned and canceled any book that discussed classism. Within the first year, he was able to roll back civil liberties basically entirely. And because he felt that manhood was under attack from these independent German women, protections for women were rolled back in the public sphere, especially reproductive rights, and doctors who administered abortions could get the death penalty. Women were told your life is your country, your family, and your home. And very shortly after that, laws were passed to restrict women to simply life in the home, because obviously men don't want to compete against women in the public sphere. And members of the LGBTQ community, in addition to being demonized the same way that the Jews were packed up and shipped to concentration camps, especially gay men, since it was thought that lesbians could be forced to reproduce. And I say all that to say that then the German army was militarized against the German people and anyone who decided to do the right thing and protect these minority groups. And now Pete Hegseth is talking about sending the Marines into LA for violent protests so violent, in fact, that my friends in LA in certain neighborhoods didn't know the protests were happening until they saw it on social media. There's no violence. It's a claim to cause martial law, and if Gavin Newsom stands against them, he will likely be arrested. Because Donald Trump also just signed an executive order taking over the National Guard to bring the National Guard in whether Gavin Newsom wants them or asks for them or not. It is a ploy to impose martial law, to use the military against citizens. There is no reason that active military should be against citizens exercising their rights.